All right. What's poppin', Tub Nation? Welcome back to Tub Takes. This is a video podcast where we go over what's been making waves in the VGC scene today. I am joined by my co-host Adi here in the middle.
Hello, everyone. Oh, it's good to be back. And it's good to never have to play another game of Regulation MA ever again. I'm so happy. Welcome, Reg MB. I'm so here for it.
Yeah, this is a very exciting one because we're in the middle of the transition. So we'll be talking about NAIC a little bit at the start here, some other tournament stuff, and then ultimately diving into this new format, Regulation MB, um, and the mobile release. So very excited to talk about these things, and we have two amazing guests with excellent NAIC finishes, both using Saraledge. I don't think that was planned, but it's just the funniest coincidence that it lined up this way. So we have Dawei coming off of a top 8 finish at NAIC. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing very good. I'm so excited. Maybe a little too excited to be invited here.
No, it's awesome. Glad to hear it. Glad to finally get you on here. Yeah, I hope that you're ready to talk about some MB as well as a bit of your insights into the dead format that is now MA or whatever. So, anyways, Dylan, you also used Saraledge for a top 16 finish. Funnily enough, not the same Saraledge as well. I think it was Bulk Up versus Swords Dance, right?
That's right. Yes.
And yeah. So how are you doing?
Doing pretty good. Excited to be among another Saraledge player and also excited to be done with Reg MA. So happy to get some takes from some of the new mons for MB.
Yeah, honestly, if I don't remember to bring it up later, or actually, we'll do it right now before I finish the intro, I guess, because why not? I want to know how we felt about MB because Adi and Dylan, you both already kind of weighed in, and I put my take on it over the weekend. Is that like I had a lot of fun playing MB and just not a lot of fun building in MB. It felt like building was really challenging.
You mean?
Oh, MA. Thank you. MA was very challenging to build in, but a lot of fun to play. And yeah, I guess Dawei, you didn't quite weigh in. What do you think of MA?
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot, and I really think the meta game can still evolve if we have more time.
Yeah, you thought that there was still more to it. Yeah, I could believe it. I could believe there was like still some stuff coming out of NAIC, but those will just bleed into the next format because they didn't. I'm getting ahead of ourselves here, but they didn't add as much as maybe they could have. They didn't add like another brand new 180 Pokemon. This is going to be a smaller format transition than some of the past. But I guess yeah. Let's finish this intro and let's get to this because actually there's a lot to talk about in this one. So I'm very excited. Really quick, if you are here now but you aren't going to be around for the whole thing, or if you'd rather watch this on YouTube, check it out over on Adi's YouTube channel CK49 !YT in the chat. If you have any questions for our guests or any of us on the show, do leave them in the chat here. I did not fix Twitch chat for the on-screen thing, by the way. I said that I would do that last week and I didn't. So sorry guys, your questions will not be in the video, but I will be reading them, don't worry. With that said, yeah, questions and on YouTube, I think that's pretty much it. Then we'll launch into the beginning here with a couple of tournament announcements. There's actually 4 of them for upcoming, very soon, as well as further down the road. So Smogon is doing one this very weekend. They wanted to be one of the first people to get a Regulation MB tournament in. So that one will be this weekend if you'd like to play on Pokemon Showdown, I believe. This is probably says it somewhere.
Yep.
Here we go. Posted on Pokemon Showdown. So if you prefer to play on Pokemon Showdown, then that is available to you. And I also want to mention that the format just like within the last 30 minutes or something went live on Pokemon Showdown. So but when I say that, don't close the episode, don't leave us, just leave us playing in the background while you go build your first team on Pokemon Showdown or whatever. We'll be here, we'll be talking, we'll be giving you some great insights on how to build that team. But yeah, if you want to play on Pokemon Showdown, Smogon has got you for this coming weekend. And then also Victory Road, if you like playing on cart and playing in VR tournaments, they are going to be hosting a MB tournament this coming weekend as well. Then Grand Champions Festival Encore is coming up in July. I guess I don't have these in chronological order. St. Jude is coming up a little bit sooner in 9 days. That just means next weekend, a tournament for a good cause. Audie, I believe you played in this one last year, right? Or
did I play it or did I cast it? I think I casted it.
maybe you cast it.
I forget.
I don't know. They reached out to me
I've
and they were
worked
like,
with them
"Are
a
you going to
couple
play in the
times.
tournament?" And I was like, "I don't know." And they were like, "Audie did like last time or something like that." And I was like, "Oh yeah." So I don't remember. I don't remember if the DM said you were casting or playing, but I just I do want to give a plug to this one because of course it's just for a good cause. And yeah, if I am not doing anything next weekend, I can see myself playing it. So definitely a good shout there. And then yeah, July Grand Champions Festival.
And then
Um,
Victory Road is also happening.
Wait,
you have that
what?
one already?
I think I had that one, right?
Oh, you did. So
Yeah.
there's a bunch of tournaments coming up. A couple tournaments this weekend. Sure, there's going to be many more tournaments in the upcoming weeks. So you will get your fix to play some Reg MB and get some good practice for the World Championships. Please don't start to try to hide your teams 2.5 months before Worlds. That I don't think you're going to break the format in the next week. So I want to see what everyone comes up with.
Right. Is this we were talking about in Tub, Audie? Is this the longest Nats Worlds gap? I think it has to be.
Were you talking about a tub? I didn't see that conversation. Maybe.
No, yeah, it was in no, it was not. It was a very minor thing. It didn't last more than a second. But yeah, I think it might be the longest Worlds gap from Nationals or whatever. Just because this is like we're doing it early in June. That's how we've been doing it since we came to New Orleans. Which I only found out this weekend that is possibly because they wanted to avoid hurricane season. I don't know, maybe. And then Worlds this year in August is like about as late as it could be. I don't know. Audie, you're making a face, and I agree. Jeremy just told me this. Jeremy Gross. So I was like, all right, sure. I didn't. Nobody else told me that. And then really late.
You know what? I looked it up, and you're right. It starts June 1st, so it might be right.
Oh my gosh, the kitty
Hurricane
is so
season,
cute.
that
I
is.
love it.
Surely it's not related to. Well, I guess they probably planned Reg MB release date around NAIC, or do you think that was just a happy coincidence?
Probably a happy coincidence.
Or the other way around.
Yeah.
They just,
Dylan, you playing in any of the online tournaments upcoming?
Yeah, I'll probably hit most of them. I still have to kind of register for everything, but I don't know, unless I like literally don't have a team. And even if I don't have a team, I'll probably just grab something from my friends, like I did for NAIC. But
yeah. Yeah. What about you, Dawei? Do you like playing online tournaments? Do you think you'll be playing any of these?
Same for me. I had been very excited for the small gun tour for a long time. Actually, I always wanted a custom avatar.
Oh, this one has a custom avatar. I should have mentioned that. That's always fun.
I surprised. Yeah, and yeah. Also the other two I'm also planning to participate, but just if I have time. Yeah.
Right. Totally. But yeah, Adi does make a good point, is that, we are going to see so much meta development through these and other tournaments to come over the summer that this is going to be like a very developed format by the time we actually are playing it at the World Championships. It's still, very in development right now because we've had it for less than a day. And we don't know what new additions are going to be the mainstays. But yeah, we're gonna see a lot for this one. And then I also wanted to mention really quick is that I think Worlds is the only one in this one. I think we got confirmation of that as well. This ends like September 2nd, and I don't think the next season starts quite then. So I think we will only be playing MB at Worlds.
That's right.
Interesting.
So I guess, if you are not competing at the World Championships, but you really want to, have a chance at this one, then these online tournaments are going to be your best bet. All right, then. So with that, oh my gosh, I forgot that there's even more tournaments from last weekend to talk about. The Taiwan Master Ball League. I don't know if we ended up previewing this one, but
did
Taiwan had their Master Ball League to decide who was going to qualify for Worlds, of course. I'm a little confused.
Cool team winning. Never seen that before.
What is this? Why does it say SR?
So it's a senior.
Senior.
So in I think
Did
in
it-
a lot of these Asian countries, other than Japan and Korea, they don't have a
Mixed
separate
division.
circuit. If you want to qualify for Worlds, you have to, as a senior, qualify as a master, like in the masters competitions. And if you don't get top 32 or whatever it is, you just don't make it. So they have very few senior representatives nowadays.
I see. Okay, that makes some sense to me.
Which is messed up because I think the year before they started doing that, I think the like world's finalist was from Taiwan. Or one of the countries that had this, and now it's just like impossible for them. Except apparently not. I mean, or junior world's finalist. Whereas juniors, like, I don't think you're ever going to see a junior qualify out of these regions anymore, which is a real tragedy.
Right. And so I don't know if we'll dive into the teams too much because unless there's something especially spicy, the team that won it all was actually the same 6 that won over here, which I find is it? Yeah, it is. It is. Right?
Yeah, same 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was spacing myself out on the Sylveon, but I was like, no, of course it's Sylveon. Yes.
They paid for the team report. I don't know if that's true or not, but
right.
It's and spoilers, I think this team is still very good in Reg MB. I think I saw Paul who posted his run to Master Ball rank with this, and you even get better with some better item choices now with some more options. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this team, especially early on when the teams around some of the fun new megas are a little less refined. If you really want to do well in some of these online tournaments, I suspect the best thing you can do is spam one of the more established teams that are more refined and make some small optimizations to them with the new items and to counter the new megas. So yeah, this team that we're going to see at NAIC that we see here still going to be very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the joke that everybody's been making is just take I think I had to scroll a little bit far down to find it, but the big 6 team and just make Garchomp have a life orb instead of any other item that it's been holding. Because life orb is back. It was also one of my first thoughts is we just add life orb to previously established teams. But anyways, yeah, there is a Mudsdale. Somebody pointed out Mudsdale. I'll grab that one. Mudsdale is a bit of a funny one. The way I was describing it the other day is that it's the Archaludon that more effectively beats Sneasler and King Gambit, which I thought was kind of cool. Like obviously Archaludon also has a lot of rain associations with Electro Shot, but the fact that you can get those defense boosts on a Pokemon that is very capable of handling King Gambit and Sneasler is pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. Some of the other Pokemon can do that well on the team as well. Like Charizard's quite good in those Pokemon, but it doesn't hurt to have redundancies.
Right. You can do a wing beat yourself too, I guess.
Yo,
They're
always got to find the cook. I love that. I love that.
They found the Saraludge answer. That's really what it was.
Honestly,
I'm evaluating all these Pokemon exclusively to the context of whether they beat Saraludge or not.
Right.
That's what this podcast is, right?
Yeah, Glamora S tier.
Yeah.
That's actually always the funny thing about Saraludge to me, like when I was playing it with it, because I think you both used Shadow Sneak and Bitterblade. Is that like Bitterblade is like stronger into resists, right? It's 40 versus 45. So
That's right.
I know that that's not like a crazy complicated concept, but I feel like there's probably some people who kind of just like assume, resisted move probably not as bad as or probably better to use the not resisted move, but like you actually just do more damage and also have the bonus of healing. You're really only supposed to use it if it's like resist versus super effective or you need that priority.
Right.
So that's always kind of funny. Okay.
Wait,
no.
okay. I will make an addendum. Apparently, the best 4 juniors and seniors performing players outside of the top 10 also get an auto qualifier. So now there are some qualifiers from juniors and seniors from Taiwan.
Oh, awesome. Is it mentioned on the page
Nice.
or
Yeah.
do you just
Yeah, to the very bottom.
Nice. Here we go. Awesome.
I wonder then, do the spots pass down for the seniors, the two seniors that are in the range, or do they just? I guess that's just another senior slot.
No.
Instead of a master slot.
And I was thinking of Wu Pi, who won the 2019 Juniors World Championships. So,
Yeah.
I
got that one right too.
I'm getting some live news. Maybe we put some of the viewers to work to confirm this one or not. But somebody just DM'd me and said they're asking if I was free to test this myself. I'm like, no, I'm on Tubtakes. They said that spectators might have only percentages now instead of actual HP numbers. That would be cool to go back to.
Yeah, that's a good news.
That would be awesome. I don't know if that's 100%.
That's huge for streaming, if true, right? Because if I'm a streamer and I don't want people to stream snipe me, now I can just, like, when I'm playing in a Limitless tour or something, I can join on my Switch as a spectator, play on my phone, and then, like, there won't be, like, an advantage to being able to see the HP numbers. So
Right. I
that'll be really
remember
fun.
people saying that you like. I think like people had that idea and then immediately were like, "Oh no, you could cheat because you could see their HP numbers, so it wasn't a possible idea." But now it might be a possible idea again. That's really cool. Yeah, you could also you could even with the phone now because like everybody that qualified for Worlds has a Switch. But now it's on the phone, and most people playing have phones. You could just do all your buttons on the phone, even though that might not be preferred, and use your Switch to stream your perspective. That's a cool way to maybe do it, huh? Man, all the fun stuff we're going to be talking about today is related to the update and MB. So let's continue to talk about MA and get that taken care of, so that we can talk about all this brand new stuff.
Wait, I still had
go
something to add to the Taiwan
Yes.
championship. So my friend Dawei is getting his another top 4 travel awards from the Taiwan tournament. He made the 3rd place.
Yes.
Megumi. And so it's like they have a really weird format actually. It's like 6 Swiss rounds into top 32 cut, and the 6 rounds are not enough to distinguish all the top players, and they only had like 22 world invites, so it means the first round of top cut 32 to a top 32 round is still determines like if you get a world invite or not. And my friend just matched into a very strong player in that top 32 match, and I'm so glad he finally still made the travel awards. Despite that. Yeah.
Go ahead, Audie.
And then the crazy part is that if you lose in that top 32, you have to play against 16 players for 6 Worlds invites, which must be some of the craziest sets you can imagine.
Yeah.
Man.
But Dawei, very strong player. They're two-time Taiwan national champion as well.
Yeah, and I think one runner-up and this time top 4.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
2022 and 2024.
Impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and his team is from Nash, the Korean player.
Oh, Nash the GOAT. Yeah, we love Nash here on Tubtakes. So Nash was here like maybe 3 episodes ago or something. So
yeah, I remember that.
All right, then I think I'm going to keep us moving along here talking about NAIC, unless there's anything else we wanted to add on Taiwan. But I think a lot of these teams look like relatively standard constructions. So let's talk a bit about NAIC here. So I think what we'll do is we'll start with y'all's runs, and then we will dive into some of the results, and then keep us moving along here towards some of the newer stuff. So Dawei, you ended up finishing 6th overall with a record of 12-3 in the top 8 here, using a updated version, I think, of what you brought to Indy as well, right? You were on a similar team back then. So I guess without doing a full team report, how did you end up on this team that you picked for NAIC?
Yeah, so I have been really busy in real life, like recently. Like originally, I just copied a team from an online tournament in the Chinese community, which is this team. Instead of Nisner, it had Alola Ninetales, Scarf Ninetales, and because it was originally a closed team, it had a Milotic without coil. It was Icy Wing, and it was Citrusberry and leftover Sterilage, something like that. And so at that time, my Chinese friends, they just told me that this team was really hard countering the meta. And I just took this team and played some BO3 ladder games and won like all of them. Like maybe didn't lose any game. So I just felt it was very strong. And this was like a month ago. And then things like Glimora or like Mega Gengar stuff, those are very difficult matchups for this team. And they just popped up, which what so I found it was like more annoying and more difficult to play this team. But after Indie, I just didn't have enough time to like make this team actually better. So I still really love the Vivillon version. Actually, I was a Vivillon believer since the start of Champions because we don't have safety goggles right now, right? And
Right.
so I also just feel it like the Vivillon is just you can clip sleep powders like you have free fake outs every turn. So that's what I feel about sleep powders. And so basically this time I changed it to Sneasler. It's just a kind of vibe in terms of vibe because I don't think Vivillon was not useful. It's just and anything is not perfect for the sixth slot, and we are just testing different mods. I almost brought like Mioscarada as the sixth mod also,
Meow meow.
but so I think anyway I think I was really lucky that when we didn't do much change to this team, the meta itself came back to the state that was hard countered by this team. So that I guess this is one of the most like biggest reasons that I did well in NAIC. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think that it's a really cool one, hard to break. You kind of just pick what direction you're going to set up with Ceruledge or Floette, and then Milotic, also a bit of a setup guy on its own, but it's like it's like to enable the other setup Pokemon, right?
So yeah, well, another thing I really wanted to mention is that this is actually a Milotic team in my heart. Like so actually the first thing we tried after Indie was to replace Ceruledge or Floyd. So Milotic is the core. It's like the most important mod on this team. Like yeah, and it can basically just destroy a lot of teams that don't have enough power. Basically, especially all the like mega Scorpion teams and all the mega flawless teams. I think Milotic is just too good into all those teams. Yeah.
It really takes advantage of the fact that there's not a lot of good ways to hit water types in this format.
Yeah,
exactly. There's just not very good electric or grass moves to target this Pokemon, and Milo's just so tanky otherwise. I also was looking at this, and every time I saw the Milotic, get off a single coil, it was like you just recreated Amoonguss, in a lab. You were just like, like if we don't have Amoonguss, I'm just gonna make an Amoonguss with this thing putting everything to sleep while your team sets up.
Yeah. Also, like originally, I think at the beginning of MA, I was watching UB Slow's stream, and he also actually uploaded that one video that he was aiming for #1 on ladder, but there was one coil Milotic team that stopped him. And at that time, it just looked so undefeatable, and I so wanted to use this mod.
Yes, I think that's the way to do it. 100%. Just learn when when you see somebody streaming a strong player struggle into something, you're like, all right, this has to be good. Has to be good.
Yeah.
What would you say is the one most standout match from your run?
Oh, yeah. So this time I think I played so many strong players. I played Nick round 1, and
Right.
we were actually building together. So we discussed a lot about our teams, and so like our Sneasler were both Max Jolly, Poison Touch, and our Floyd is just the same spreads as well. But I also really hated the Blastoise, and it
Right.
also had Protect on this floor type, so it's just more difficult, like more tricky to you must to have correct calls to win this kind of mirror match. And so basically I was thinking of if I could find some way to like avoid speed ties to win him, and but like in the end, I still won that round because I won some speed ties.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's funny that like this time in NAIC I was featured on stream so many times. I was featured on the mainstream twice, but I was on the side streams like 5 rounds. Oh,
Yes.
4 rounds actually. Yeah, and so the one I really recommend to watch is the win ending match. I played that a Toxapex Snorlax team, which actually I also really wanted to bring. I thought this team looked like a team I really liked from Elizabeth, and then I found it was actually from the other player, the runner-up in seniors
Right.
division, right? And so I had a really good matchup originally if it was a Mega Frostless instead of the Mega Scorpion. So Thomas also told me that he actually thought the Mega Scorpion made a lot of difference, and it was just much stronger than the original version. And I believe that it was so difficult to break this kind of team. So so we played a set of 3, and I got fished in early game in game 1. Like the first attempt of that Snorlax, the Fisher hit, but my Matcha Gacha burned his basket agent, so maybe that's kind of even. And so so in the end, I found that because I had a what's it called, like advantage in the number of remaining Pokemons, and I realized like maybe there was like 6 or 7 minutes left, but I already realized that I could win by the timer. So I tried to just slow down the whole game, and he only had one more Fisher like chance, and he missed that, and
No.
I just won by the timer. Yeah, and the second game he adjusted very, very well, and I was just pinged and destroyed. And the third game I managed to come up with some strategy I never used before. Oh, also because I'm also very familiar with the Yang strategy on the Snorlax, I know what's the most annoying thing if you play Yang to see. So basically it is like I just stay on the field to wake up. I don't let you to Yang my like incoming new Pokemon. Something like that.
Right.
So I won that game 3. Like I really think I came up with like a very good strategy, and just went my way in game 3. Yeah, and so after that game, I was just too happy, and because it's my first time in IC's card, and it's just also I got the buy, so I was directly in top 8. Yeah, so I was just too happy. So I didn't feel anything after I lost that top 8, even though like everyone looks so upset there. So everyone was trying to how to say try to say sorry for me, but I didn't feel and I didn't feel anything. I just felt so happy I could lose like that. Oh, but maybe I also wanted to talk about my top 8 match a little bit. So I played Eric, and I think his team is exactly the kind of team that our team countered, right? Because like the Mega Charizard just didn't do anything to Cerulege, and if you go with King Gambit, Aerodactyl, Mirotic is also really strong there. It's just but the soft stand on Garchomp really made a lot of difference there. It made the roles a lot more tricky. So I don't think anyone recognized that, but like on turn 1, my Cerulege was hit by a -1 earthquake, and the damage number was 102. So on the stage, I just calculated the next damage from the earthquake. If I am +1, he was -1. So I just calculate from that 102 number times 2 divided by 3, and I calculate something like 68, right? 68. So I had
about 6, 7 or so.
75. Yeah, it hit exactly 68 because
right.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I had 75 HP at that time. I was just very confident that I could survive the next earthquake or stamping tonsil. So I just went for the safe play to fake out his Garchomp. Like I knew he could like switch in Farigiraf to block the fake out, but that means he could just not double targeted my Cerulege. So I think it's like the safest play. And then the starting tension just did too much to my Cerulege. It's only survived at like 1 HP. So it was really scary. And after that match, I ran the calculator and found that the first earthquake to my Cerulege was a min roll. So it is what's interesting about the RNG in this game. So if you estimate the next damage based on a min roll damage, it's just so tricky. So yeah, and so but I did manage to calculate there was like a 75% of survival rate chance. So it's still maybe it's still fine. But yeah, anyway, and also I it's like I rewatched my stream match, and I found that being created out was kind of unfortunate, but I still had a chance to win there. I just played too carelessly. I think I didn't play very well in the match, and Eric just did what he could do to my team, and he just played very well. Yeah, so I was just not upset at all to lose that top 8 match, even though it looks like I was very unlucky.
Yeah. I mean, definitely a heartbreaking way to go out, unfortunately. But like, when you do click setup moves for so many turns in a row, sometimes you will get critical hit. That's why critical hits exist. So
yes,
that's just how it happens.
Yeah, so it's also like the critical hit only happens in top 8. It's not like happening in my win and in, right?
That's true. We did at least you got to get this far before that happened. Good way to look at it. Adi?
I know Gavin was on the same team, and he said that he got rock slide flinched out of his win and in for Worlds. He was 9-3, which also right, like you give him the turns to click rock slide, you give him the turns to kick crits, and sometimes it's gonna happen. And it sucks that it happened, but I'm glad that it happened in top 8 and not earlier.
Right. Also, I had to mention earlier, I wanted to mention Adi. We found another Cerulege counter, by the way. Snorlax, thick fat, immune to the ghost. GG.
Oh yeah, it is really strong.
Perfect in the Cerulege. You do have to hit a fissure eventually, but you'll get there. So that's pretty funny. All right. All right. Wait, Dylan, you sent me some links. Oh, also before we transition over, yeah, Dawei, what did you want to say? Go ahead.
Yeah. Maybe just one last thing that
Yes.
the other reason I was not so upset about losing that top 8 was like I felt I had zero matchup into Wolfie's team. So,
Oh.
so even if I won that game, I don't think I had some plan for his team. The plan was blind hypnosis and just won by luck. It was my plan, but yeah. Anyway, so I was really rooting for Marcus also because like Marcus'
Right.
team was just also had zero matchup against mine. So and
Right.
then like it's also interesting like because we have Serolage, it's good into Charizard Y, all the Charizard Y teams, and there are 6 Charizard Y in top 8. It's just
Yes.
it's so it's just so lucky for me. Yeah.
I mean, it was the right call for the tournament. It was the right call for the tournament.
Yeah.
Clicking blind hypnosis, though, disgusting strategy. Adi and I would never do anything like that. Never.
Oh, yeah. Let me add one more sentence. So I only
Yes.
clicked blind hypnosis twice the whole tournament, and both
Okay.
are on stream.
Oh.
Like the first time I missed versus Justin, and
Wow. Wait
the
a minute.
second time I hit after I got I got the muddy water mist and all the stuff. Yeah, so it
I don't
yeah,
know.
but if I remember correctly, Gavin just loved clicking it. Gavin
Yeah, that
does
sounds
it
like Gavin.
all the time. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, if I was clicking blind hypnosis on tournament, I would also say, yeah, the only times that I did click it were the documented ones that are on YouTube. Don't worry about the rest of my sets. You don't have to. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. All right. Oh yeah. So one quick thing before we transition over to yours, Dylan, is that I did just get confirmation as well that I think it's percentages in spectator mode now. So that's really
Awesome.
cool.
Nice.
That's so
Nice.
that's so sick. All right, so Dylan, you ended up using D Knight and Frostlass with Sarah Ledge. So not as much of a all in on Sarah Ledge team. It was kind of just like a guy hanging out with the rest of the Pokemon, like just a Pokemon that probably fulfilled its role very well because it's like a very good Pokemon at just checking certain things like Floette and Zard. Like that's the strong part of it is right. But I guess I should let you tell me about how you ended up on this team.
Right. So I chose to use this team I think on Monday or Tuesday, the week of the tournament. And I flew out on Tuesday night. So I went to where I was going to fly out on Tuesday night, and then I flew out on Wednesday morning. Because I was staying with my girlfriend. But yeah, so this is not my team. This team was built by my friend Christian. He's a much better team builder than me, and he was on Frostlass, Sneasler, Basculegion, King Gambit for a long time. Toward the start of the format, even, and I think at one point he played either you or one of your team building partners before Indy, and saw the Mega
Right.
Dragonite, and thought, hey, that looks really cool. It's nice to have a different mega that you can bring into the Zard matchups. And I think the Ceruledge kind of made its way on the team kind of after that as a way to help patch up the Zard stuff, because it's very good into both Charizard Y and Floette, of course.
Yes.
I also sent over the Poke Paste with the
Oh, right.
EVs. There are a lot of very funny EV choices on this team that I think give it a lot of character. But first, I think I should bring up the name. So we were talking about Frostlass SBK in Discord, and I forget who it was. I think it might have been Daniel. Didn't know what SBK was. It's like, what are you guys talking about? It's like Caesar Vasquez and Gambit. He's like, I thought he was just like taking a wild guess. He's like Super Burger King. So then that's the name of the team. It's Frostlass Super Burger King.
I love it.
And yeah, so we I think we kept losing to that stupid Lycanroc team. And at a certain point we were kind of fed up with it, and we said, okay, let's go Timid Frostlass. So that's why the Frostlass is timid. It's very sick because that's a really important speed interaction in the mirror. And you don't really miss the damage, you do sometimes. And that's also why we are max speed King Gambit with low kick to beat the other King Gambits. So I noticed on your team, I don't know like how accurate this is from Indianapolis.
Right.
It looked a little weak into Floette stuff, like Floette balance. Hence why you had Poison Jab Garchomp with Roselli Berry, and you had Iron Head King Gambit, and you had the Sneasler, right?
I didn't have the
I
jab,
don't know.
but yeah.
Okay, yeah. The those other things though. I feel like you kind of needed Iron Head King Gambit. Would that be accurate? Just to
Yeah,
help deal with
yeah, that
Floette?
was part of the plan, 100%.
Yeah. Exactly. But with the Saraledge on the team, you're able to bring that, and Saraledge just kind of spits on Floette balance. So we're able to run King Gambit that beats the mirror. So now we're able to beat other Frostlass teams. And a very funny interaction that comes up is a lot of people use that Lycanroc team because it was a very cheap team report. It's just a cool team. It has a cool mon on it. But it also has a super fat Basky Legion with like 0 speed investment and a Scovillain with a little bit of speed investment to outspeed it. Max Speed King Gambit is actually faster than both of those. So I think between me, Riley, and Daniel's run, there were probably 4 or 5 people that we played that we just straight up outsped their Basky Legion with King Gambit and kowtow cleaved in one shot, which was awesome. Like I think that's like my favorite thing I ever did in Reg MA. One of Riley's opponents, after he did that, started just shaking his head, and he saw like on his note sheet, he just started writing in all caps, "Fast King Gambit." so, so yeah, that's definitely my favorite EV choice on the team. Our Caesar's also just super fat. We live a lot of stupid things. We have 0 attack EVs, but the adamant nature, so we still do like okay damage. I didn't really whiff anything. But yeah, the Saraledge, you kind of said, just is hanging out on the team. It really just excels in like patching certain matchups. It's so good in the Zard stuff. It's so good in the Floette stuff. It's really good into Arsol's team that won the tournament. And it's kind of good into like, you would think that a lot of things that would be good into it are good into it, but then they're actually not. One of them is Incineroar. When you have Sword Stance, it's like, yeah, we don't have the defense boost from Volca, but we kind of had the Veil to offset that, right? Like you outpace the Ensign cycling you. Like we've had matches versus Float Balance where we just click Sword Dance like 4 or 5 times because they keep bringing the Ensign in, but it's not fast enough. Like we get to keep boosting up, and you get a lot of free turns to do so versus a slower team like that, and just actually resisting. Fairy is very nice too. And then into King Gambit with the Culber Berry, you're able to 1v1 it very effectively. You live the kowtow cleave or the sucker, whatever they throw out at you, and you get all your health back with Bitter Blade. Doesn't work as well into the Akaberry stuff that was picking up after Japan Nats, so we were a little scared of that, but thankfully it didn't super come up. I think the real MVP of the team, though, was Mega Dragonite, because although this started as a Mega Frostlass team, Mega Dragonite is so broken. He's so good. He just has so many stats, and like we had Tailwind on ours, and we kind of just figured like we're not really going to play that many bulky waters, so Tailwind having this extra mode is super good, and it was super good. I would absolutely not change that. Dragon fire coverage was perfect. We also thought Modest was pretty good for what we were trying to do because it lets you do stuff like KO Sinistra with Flamethrower and Dark Claw.
Actually,
but in doing so,
come in with a funny comment.
Yes.
I kept Thunderbolt for Dawei. That's not ironic.
That's what I was about to say.
Yes.
I kept Thunderbolt because otherwise it's very hard to beat the Milo. So I was like, all right, you know, I'm so sick of these Milos. I fought Dawei leading up to Indy, and I was like, you know what? I'm so annoyed with this Milo team. I'm running Thunderbolt on Dragonite. So go ahead, though. Continue.
We basically just decided, like, okay, if we play a Milotic or like a bulky water type, our plan is going to be to hax them out. So I would just spam Dire Claw on ladder. I would just hope that I can crit them or freeze them or something, and I usually would because you know, they'd kind of just sit there for a while. But yeah, no, I was terrified of playing Dawei, and Daniel actually did on this team, and lost. But apparently, Dawei's Milotic was actually speed tying our King Gambit. So in game 1, Daniel kowtow cleaves and it moves before the Milotic. And it's awesome because it moves before the coil and it gets the kowtow cleave off. And then in game 2,
I just wanted to mention that it was also like I parting shot into that King Gambit in that game 1, and my Milotic was outsped. And yeah. So I also had that fast King Gambit on my note.
Yeah. Fast King Gambit. Write it down in big letters. Dilly go on.
Yeah, and then in game 2, the coil came out first. He's like, oh wait, this is actually a speed tie. But man, Max Speed King Gambit's so hilarious. It also made Parrish feel very, very free a lot of the time because being able to outspeed Gengar no matter what their spread is and just kowtow cleave them first when you have Tailwind up is so sick. Unfortunately, though, it does speed tie Max Timid Delphox. So there were times that we were kind of just praying against the Delphox, like, please don't be max speed, and if you are, please let me get the speed tie. And I never got outsped by one on ladder, because I think a lot are putting more EVs in bulk, but that is a thing that can come up as well.
Yeah, I was actually kind of unintentionally joining you on Max Speed King Gambit, but I think for more reasonable reasons this weekend, because I used the the same team as Eric Rios with Sash King Gambit. This King Gambit is also run with a lot of speed, so it's not nearly as crazy as what you're doing here, but still has the same kind of like some of the same strengths where you're like, faster than that Basket Legion on that team. I actually wanted to, as a random side note, before we jump into talking about some of your matches from your run as well, is just mention that like, I don't know, for everybody that was kind of like shitting on team reports and like on paid team reports going into this weekend, like I don't know, I want to just take a little bit of a stance on it and just say like I think it's fine. Like people are allowed to ask for money for their time, and like if you want to talk about like getting value out of your money, like Chichit gave you the team report for his NAIC team winning team before he won NAIC with it. Like that's crazy. And then like the Lycanroc team report had so much meta impact that I think Lycanroc has got to be the worst Pokemon we've ever seen on a top 12 graphic. Like that is just crazy to me that so many people, it meant that many people made day 2 with it. That many people were able to like actually convert to strong finishes with this team, that it's just like it was insane to me that like, yeah, like you said, a very valuable like cheap team report for anybody to pick up. Even if you weren't going to use the team yourself, it was still really insightful and cool. But like, yeah, just the number of people that ran Lycanroc and did well with it, just crazy to me. And so it was definitely worth being ready to beat it, of course, too. So yeah. Adi, did you have something to add?
Yeah, I get where that sentiment is coming from. But it's coming, like, I am also nostalgic for the days where VGC was much smaller and the tournaments were much smaller, the scene was much smaller. But like, let's be real, you can basically recreate these teams if you want to. Like, you're not paying for the paste, really. You're paying for all of the insight. And quite frankly, like, I started my YouTube channel with team reports because I realized that writing a full team report and like putting it online takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort. You have to be really committed to doing it. People only really do it when they're done with the team and it's a little too late. And that's not really like a reasonable thing to ask people to do. Either you have to make it really easy for people to do, which I've done by saying, hey, let's sit down, let's talk for 45 minutes, and that's all you got to do to get your team out there. Freezeye did it recently. He put up a new website where he had makes team report templates and makes it really easy to publish your own team report there. And otherwise, you make people pay for it, and you say, I'm gonna put several hours into making this really good, really useful to you, and I expect to be compensated as a result. And it's not very much money. Japanese players have been doing it for a long time. I've definitely paid for a number of Japanese team reports in the past. Trying to see if it's the call. I don't know. It's like I get it. I get the backlash to it, but like clearly it is a win-win for everyone involved, except for the people who choose not to pay for it and choose not to use the team. Sucks for them. I get it, but like I think that if Marcus gets top 8 at NAIC with a team that he that for the team that was made public, that player who made it, give him some credit. Give him some love.
Right.
I know where I'm at. Like, it's just so cheap too. Like, I would understand the backlash if people were asking for a lot, but like, pretty much everyone I've seen has been like $5 or less than that in a lot of cases too. Like, just buy someone a coffee. Like, I don't know.
True, 100%. Yeah, I'll have to go find. I mean, Freezeye has it on his Twitter, the team report thing. If you want to go look there, it should be there. All right, Dylan. From your run, what was the most standout match then?
I had like a stretch of 3 that were really weird for different reasons, but of those 3, definitely versus Joey in round 8. The exact mirror, all the speed stats the same. I won every single speed tie. I won every single one. In game 1, I didn't have the right game plan, and he kind of whooped me. And then in games 2 and 3, I just won every speed tie. The only speed tie I lost was the Mega order and him setting Aurora Veil before I set Aurora Veil on the same turn. And I won every other one. But
if I was in his position and you did build together, I would probably ask to see your team. I'd be like, hey man, wait a minute, let me see just for confirmation.
Like, I mean, Daniel is known to kind of speed creep us before, but he did it for this event. But he says friends speed creep friends. I think also just makes his guys faster because he likes faster teams. But like Joey was like, man, your King David's got to be jolly. Like,
Yeah, right.
It's gotta be Jolly.
Oh,
But
no.
and even though I won every speed tie, and that's really funny. The only one that matters is Basque Legion. Like I would think like, okay, maybe if I get this call right and win the speed tie, I won't have to get the Basque Legion speed tie in the end game. No, you still do. It's just always the Basque Legion with Scarf
Oh.
Mask teams. Like
It's the Shadow Rider speed ties all over again. You try to spend 8 turns working some kind of way around it. No, last turn speed tie for game. Cool.
Yep. No,
Yep.
but thankfully mine had 33 EVs Jolly, so I was able to get the jump on his each time.
Okay.
But
All right.
But yeah, and then after that, stupid round 9 and day 1. Everyone's already complained about this enough. I didn't like it. My opponent, I see modest Frostlass on their team sheet, and the battle starts, and it moves before mine. So call the judge
Ooh, did
over.
your hand go
He was
up?
not intentional at all. I do not think he was trying to cheat. He was a very nice guy. But the judge told me as I was like talking to him, explaining the situation. He's like, "Yeah, so keep playing your match." I look back at my Switch. I have like 5 seconds left. I lock in a move that did not go well. I lost the game. They take our Switches. I ask the judge what will happen. He says, "Hey, so it's my understanding that if your claim ends up being correct, then your opponent will get a game 2 loss, and then you'll go to game 3." And I was kind of stressing out about that because that's not exactly right or fair. Thankfully, that was wrong. Head judge comes over. She was super nice, super helpful. He ended up getting not only I think he ended up getting DQ'd. So shout out to Mikal. Like I do not think it was intentional, but I was kind of surprised. Like it made it that far, and
Yes.
no one noticed. Like there's so many people that could have noticed. He played another Frostlass team, was on the Lycanroc team, as well. And also he didn't get team checked the whole time as well. So I was
Yep.
kind of like surprised that they didn't get around to everybody by that point. But then right after that, play another guy that I team build with, Mason Cutler, very nice guy, and that was a fun set as well. But sadly had to team kill 2 of my friends, kind of sandwiching this really weird round 9 because it was already weird that we were playing round 9 in day 1, but it was weird for another reason too. But yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much the highlight of my tournament run, I'd say.
I do want to add as a random-ish side note as well that I don't know where else we would fit this in, but I'm remembering it is that the teams did leak in the middle of this tournament, which was hilarious. Just the 6 Pokemon that everybody was running. But yeah, Victory Road, I think on one of their streams before they inaccurately changed scenes or something like that, and then just flashed a Google Doc with all of the teams for every player, all 6 Pokemon that they were using on the screen. And so that got shared around. And it was funny because like it was an editable public document. So people were just like changing things in it, making all kinds of memes. Everybody made their copies. It did mean that like for all the rest of my rounds, I knew what 6 Pokemon I was going up against before I would go up against them. And that was like, sometimes big, sometimes not. But that did happen in the middle of the tournament, and it was kind of hilarious, kind of stupid. Like it was kind of like you were playing day 2 ahead of time because in day 2 you know what team you're going to go up against before you go up against it, and it was a soft version of it. You know what 6 you are going up against, which could be misleading sometimes if you go up against a Dragonite and it's not a Mega Dragonite or something like that, or a Garchomp that isn't Mega or is Mega, but it was still, yeah, like I said, a way to get a jump start in these games. Okay. I want to make sure that we get to have enough time for MB and stuff later. So let's just quickly run through some of these teams here, and then we'll maybe take a quick look at some of the invite stuff. Maybe honestly, we might just save that for next week, just to, we'll maybe fit that in later. But yeah, so we talked about it already. Chichit won with a team that basically was released and public, but still just kind of like I know I think a lot of the Italians were trying to get this to be called Big Six, but sorry, no. I still think the Whimsicott team is Big Six. This could be Italy Big Six or whatever. And a very effective team, if we continue to play this format and we are playing a version of it in MB, then I think a version of this team will still be strong. It'll still continue on. Adi, you were saying that, Paul was using it to quite a strong effect on the ladder. But yeah, I don't think that this team will necessarily go away with the transition to formats, but there will be some new stuff to consider, new stuff to watch out for. So, and and it's otherwise relatively boring. Same-ish for the team that Eric got second with. This is, I mean, Zard, Sylveon, Arrow on both of these teams. Actually, a 5-mon mirror made it to the finals. Because I was on the same team as Eric, it's kind of funny that it just worked out that way coincidentally. But I think what I will say that I think is cool about this team is that it's the Charizard team that tries not to opt into the speed race. In fact, these Charizards are usually ran very bulky to take advantage of Trick Room. And so you can, reverse the speeds and run a very bulky Charizard, which I think is really, really cool. Some other cool stuff like Roar. Roar is also kind of fun. Let's see. And so, yeah. I guess we got to talk about Wolf's team because Wolf did do some more interesting stuff. And I told Wolf after our match on stream that I was not sad to lose to him on stream again. Rather, I was sad that I lost to Toxapex on stream again. I was like, why is this going to be my legacy? Why do I just get Toxapecked on stream by Aaron Trailer, now Wolf Glick? I'm just like, yeah, I don't ever build my team with good Toxapex matchups in mind. I'm sorry. That's just not something I spend a lot of time doing when I'm going into these tournaments. Anyways, Wolf's team is pretty weird. And it was kind of funny that the Mammoth one, that everybody's like, what does he do? Well, he loses. That's what he does. When they finally brought it to the match, he was very unimpressive and just kind of died. Oh, man. But a coolish team otherwise.
When it Icicle crashed that Charizard and did like, I don't know, probably like 65%, 70%. And then I saw the critical hit text. I was like, oh no.
No, Mamo.
That can't be it.
I know. It got like one
man.
thing. It got to do like one thing. But otherwise, Toxapex very, very cool Pokemon. It's something that Dawei, you were hyping up when you played against it from that other team, and it was something you were considering yourself for the tournament. Me too, as well. I thought that the Frostlass Toxapex stuff was really interesting, and it's just like there are a lot of things that you can shut out with Wide Guard, and
but I also found like the toxic version is just so much better.
Yeah, I like this one better as well. I honestly, the one you went up against from Thomas Irwin,
it was Recover.
The thing about this team is that I find very clunky is that you have like Yawn with Snorlax, but also Spicy Extract with Scovillain, and then I actually had to double check the Toxapex because I was like, where's like Toxic? Oh, it has Recover. It had to replace Baneful Bunker as well because of just like all the anti-synergy with like wanting to hit them with every single status in the book. They don't even have Dire Claw. They have Gunk Shot, but probably for different reasons, because they don't want to status you the wrong way. So kind of goofy. Let's see. And then otherwise, I think Shoma and Co, a lot of the strongest Japanese players came here to run Big Six, and they ran it well. Dawei, we talked about yours. Adrian ran a Venusaur team similar to Arsenal's without the. No, it's honestly not that. Yeah, no, it's similar enough. It doesn't have the flow at, but honestly, the rest of it's kind of similar.
Let's talk about Chris Large because he needed top 16 to get his Worlds invite, and he got top 16.
Yes.
With a really cool team. So congratulations, dude. I mean, that's an awesome way to make it to World, needing to top cut internets and doing it.
And I'll be honest, Chris did absolutely put in the work. If me or anybody I was laddering with queued up a game at any time of day, we fought Chris on the ladder. His account was you could have guessed, I guess. I think the account was like Live in Large 27 or something like that. So it was like, oh, I guess maybe that is Chris Large. But yeah, gosh, this team was so annoying to fight. The Weavile, crazy annoying. Shell Smash Blastoise, like there's just I don't really even get what the Gardevoir is doing, but maybe it was just the teams I was running. But it would just always felt like some annoying ass match against Blastoise every time I fought this. It was so funny. Yeah.
And speaking of players who got their invite, the very last player to earn their Worlds invite. Anyone know who the very last player to earn their Worlds invite was?
Was it Kian? Not Kian.
Was it? It was Jin Farai, right? It was.
It was Keanu with the delayed.
Yeah, Luke.
It was Keanu with the delayed
Oh.
invite.
Keanu didn't have a
the
delayed
local results. That's what it
delayed
was.
invite.
Oh, okay.
But Jin did get the very last invite. So sorry to Sebastian and Olivia for just barely missing out. But no, the last player to earn it was locked up after the third top 8 match when a European beat, who did they beat? Dawei, I think. When you lost to Eric.
Yeah.
You're the reason that Sebastian is not going to Worlds.
Oh, no.
And
So
instead,
true.
don't worry. That means that Salvatore Rega from Italy is gonna have to buy you a drink at Worlds because you got them a Worlds invite.
Right.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
kind of funny. I remember hanging out with somebody who was like, "Yeah, I'm hoping that the matches all go this way so that Olivia can get a Worlds invite." And I was like, "What do we need?" And it was like everything. Like we need all of the Americans to just keep going and going and going. I was like, "Oh, okay, all right. If every single one of these works out,
The Doctor Strange thing. Like, there's only
Yes.
one reality.
there's only one way."
Unfortunately, it's not the one we're living in.
Yep.
One more thing about Chris too. He was my one loss in day 1 of Houston. And he was using Iron Boulder. This guy is an
Yes.
awesome team builder and a very nice guy. Just wanted to shout him out real quick. Like, I'm
Awesome.
not surprised he's on some crazy stuff. I'm really glad he made Worlds. I did not know he needed top 16. That's so sick.
Let me see here. Then some people bubbled into top 16 prizing, but not that huge of a deal, or whatever. Because this time around we were just over that 1,000 number. Like, what is it? 1028? No, 1056.
1024. Yeah.
1024, 1025. Okay.
Yes. 1024.
Got it. Yeah. So this time it meant that
We
people
have one
bubbled
more.
into top 16 prizing, but we didn't bubble out of top cut, which is really sad to see that happened in like Turin and Indy. All right. Any other teams that we should highlight before we move on? I don't really know if there's any
Nah, let's move on with
any
it.
other ones. I agree.
I'm
Let's
done
do
with
it.
this format.
I have one team that I really
what's that, Dawei?
loved. It's
Alright,
from Kyle
let's hear it.
Living House.
Oh, Kyle. Okay, let's see. Kyle had
Yeah, but
Espadra.
he didn't do very well in day 2, but that team was so cool. I really love it.
Yep.
So basically,
Yeah.
it had a skill swap as versa.
Mm-hmm.
Espadra, and
too.
yeah, so the skill swap can win your the weather war,
Right.
and it can also just swap my flash fire, for example.
Oh,
And I remember
Oh,
he
that's pretty
I
cool.
remember he also mentioned like he won a set by skill swap his own King Gambit to have a speed boost King Gambit to
That's so sick.
yeah to win. Yeah,
So
it
cool.
just sounds so good. And still the toxic packs is also very good.
Yeah, skill swap's one of those moves that like allows a ton of creativity that we haven't gotten to see as much since I don't know, since like 2016 days of Cresselia. Really, it hasn't shined as much since
Yeah.
Since then. I mean, there's some times that it pops up here and there, but it's an awesome move. All right, yeah. So yeah, we got plenty of time. We got the whole summer to talk about who did and didn't get their Worlds invites. So we'll probably get to that another time. Oh yes, so the post Nats announcements, they announced like what the plushes and stuff look like. I'll just put them on screen if people want to see those, but probably not the biggest stuff. Again, we'll actually have these physically at the end of the summer, so that'll be cool. And I have to mention this one because it's just huge for me personally, being that I am from Chicago. It's really cool to see Chicago. I'm also just very excited because I'm not like sick of NOLA, but it's nice to get to a different city now and then. And I have been hoping for Chicago for basically my entire career because I mean I was living there for most of my VGC career. And I was always like, it'd be so cool to have like a tournament in my own backyard. Unfortunately, it's not my backyard anymore, but I can go home, visit mom and dad, and go to this one. So excited. I don't know. Anybody else excited for Chicago, or is this more of a mid pick for them? I don't know.
I'm excited to be out of the New Orleans heat in June. I think it's going to be a lot nicer in Chicago
little
in June
bit.
than it is in New
A little
Orleans.
bit. Right.
Yeah. I don't hate New Orleans. It's just like 3 times enough, and Chicago is exciting.
Right. Yeah, new stuff's always cool. Audie?
New Orleans, incredible city. I wish I could have gone this time. It's such a beautiful, like it's so much fun, so much good food, great music. Chicago has the biggest convention center in the country, and God knows we need it. So I think that's a big part of why they picked it, and I'm very excited to not have to worry as much about missing out on NAIC next year.
Yeah. They interviewed Chris Brown, and that was one of the main reasons he talked about for why they picked Chicago. So we have all the space to grow because they anticipate champions increase in demand. So I'm glad you mentioned us specifically. So,
and that's an awesome reason to be doing it, you know, like that. It's just exciting to hear. All right, so honestly, I don't know how much there is to say on this aspect. I want to hear. I actually asked about it in Tub to have a couple of talking points, but so Champs is now on mobile. I haven't gotten around to playing any games on mobile myself. I got it downloaded, opened it up, did a recruit, but yeah, Champs is now on mobile, and so I was curious. Dylan, you said you were playing some games, at least of the new format. Did you play any of it on mobile or just on your Switch?
I kind of did what you did. I opened the game on mobile, got my recruit, then I mostly played on Switch. I think the UI maybe could use a little bit of work on mobile phones. The cancel button when you're in a battle is like super tiny from what I've heard. So I don't know. It kind of just feels like they ported like the Switch version, and it didn't change anything with the way it looked, which is like not ideal. I think also like I know Joey was playing on mobile earlier, and he couldn't figure out how to change the move order like in the train screen. And I wonder if there's just no way to do it at all because on like you have to press like Y or something on the move. But if you click the move, then I don't know. Maybe that's not actually a thing, but that's something that my friend brought up. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe you could use a little bit of work on the mobile side of things. But I also saw some people were having
you
issues
hold down
with
the moves.
Okay. Oh, you do? Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
What about you, Dawei?
Yeah.
Have you gotten around
I
to
think
it?
that's how you get details as well in game.
Okay.
No, I haven't. I'm just too busy today. I actually also haven't looked too much into MB either.
Okay. Well, then we'll be getting some very fresh, some very live takes from you when we get to looking at the format then.
Yeah.
But yeah, Adi, I saw when I asked you to give some of your insights. You want to repeat some of those here now for the takes?
Yeah, honestly, mobile release is so much better than I thought it was. I had very low expectations, and it actually like is a pretty good game. I think the big downside, yeah, is the interface is not quite optimized for mobile. The buttons are very small, which isn't not the buttons when you click the moves, but like every other button is a little too small, and like so it feels like
Back
again
button,
it
right?
wasn't designed with mobile in mind. It was a port. The back button especially, yeah, the back button. Some of the menuing is a little tricky. But overall, like, I think it's pretty good. Yes, you do have to double tap moves, which is, sometimes I see people talking about that in the chat. It does mean that it takes a little longer to get your moves in, but I don't hate it. Like, it's not a big, we'll get used to it. I was saying, I really wish you could click and drag moves to just click a move, drag it to the attacking target, and that would be so much better. Like that's if this was a mobile first game, that's how this would work. But it's so clearly not. That's the thing. I was like, if this is not how I would design a game, if I was designing a game for mobile. As far as a direct port goes, I'm just happy everything isn't breaking. That's apparently the type of slop that Pokemon fans will accept is just as long as it doesn't break, as long as we get to play our game and it doesn't fall apart, that's good enough. But I think they have room for improvement, and at least as an initial release, I think that they are going to keep improving it. They're going to take this feedback, and at least for an initial release, I think it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to get used to the double tapping for confirming moves. Go ahead, Adi.
Played some Pokeball rank, and I definitely run into some people who are clearly just starting out. So that is also fun to see.
Yes, I mean,
Awesome.
I'm glad though. I'm glad that
it's great for us.
Yes, well,
but
I don't even want
it's great for the scene, obviously.
Yes, right. Yeah, I know. I'm so happy that more people are getting in now with this. And so yeah, I think most people I saw just saying that like the double tapping moves is a little bit clunky, but that's just like you said, Audie. As long as like the direct port is functioning. That's at least a good start. They can maybe improve it from here. Who knows? And yeah, I guess other people might be able to try it on like other devices besides phone, because like it's on iOS devices. You could also try it on like an iPad, I guess. I don't know if a bigger screen would make it easier or whatever. But I think for so far, it's been out for less than a day basically, but I think so far people are saying that they would still prefer to play on Switch for like tournaments, but like rather the convenience is unmatched, of course, being able to play it while you're out and about, play it, at work while you're on the shitter, or something like that,
Yep.
there's just
Number one
this
use
is
case.
this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any other mobile takes then at this point. Does the game have controller support? Some mobile games do that. I don't know actually. Yeah, no clue on that one. I played at the DMV today. See, that's fire. That is fire. That's what it's all about. And I think one of the first things I checked, because I was checking all the settings to see if you could make like the buttons bigger or anything like that, is one of the buttons was like, do you want push notifications for your recruit? And I'm like, yes, this is all I've been asking for. Is I just want to I want to do my daily draft Pokemon. I want to see if I get like a cool guy and a cool ball or a shiny or something. And I just want a little notification for that, and I'm gonna get that. So that's sick. Okay. So all in all, they added, I don't know if the number is mentioned here at the top or anything, but I think the number I've been hearing people say is 38, right? 38 Pokemon, I think, were added to the game. Mostly megas, but all of them, of course, can function as non-megas, and some non-mega onlys. Pokemon that we've been asking for in this format for a long time. Everyone was like, we need grass types, real grass types in the format, and they said, we got you. Vileplume is on the way. So Vileplume is something we can play with now, and everyone's going to probably have to figure out, what to do from here on out, because a lot of the NAIC teams just don't work the same now that Vileplume is here in the game. Quillfish finally, yeah, they had to pick some pack filler mons, the ones that you'll get in the draft that you're like, I'm never picking that, but they can't be all hits. Anyway,
Okay,
but what is special about it? It's a pre-evolution, right?
Quillfish is not. No. Quillfish is regular.
Yeah,
Quillfish
it's
is
regular. It's regular.
You
Quillfish.
can't put
No
Eviolite on this
for
thing.
You.
You can put Eviolite on Hisui Quillfish, but that one's not in the game.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Vileplume does get after you.
You say you gotta put.
That's true.
Kind of like the
it's also base 50 speed.
It's like, yeah, it's like 60.
But it's faster
than
the Mega Arrow. I don't know. It's still bad.
Is it?
Yeah.
But it's a guy you can after you Eruption with, and we don't have that. Sorry.
That's true. That's a cool niche.
Okay. No, that's true.
Yeah.
No, you said you need to have pack filler, but like we don't need to have pack filler. Like really, we don't. This is a competitive game made for competitive players. Like they can design however they want to. They don't actually have to put the shitmons in the game if they don't want to. But I get that they want, like, they didn't even add that many Pokemon in. And the scary part for me is going through the list of Pokemon. They added a bunch of megas in. Everyone's really excited about the megas. The problem with MA was not the megas. It was the lack of options as far as powerful non-mega Pokemon. And I don't know if they entirely solved that problem. Grimmsnarl is the big one. Grimmsnarl annihilates Goldengo. But they also like really nerfed Goldengo and really reasonably nerfed Annihilate. And so I'm very curious if things are actually going to shake up on that front, because like, is Grimmsnarl and Annihilate enough to really shake up a format, or is that enough to create one more team comp? What do you guys think?
Let's go through these guys actually here, like somewhat, like, we won't spend too much time on each one. We'll talk about the notable ones, but let's talk about Grimmsnarl then. Because Grimmsnarl got added back in, and it doesn't have Thunder Wave now. They took that away from it. And False Surrender, of course. Sorry. Don't forget False Surrender. But yeah. They
signature move.
Why was it signature?
Oh, wait, signature move.
It was just worse Kowtow Cleave, though.
It was funny. I don't know.
Like,
What's weird is that they printed Feint Attack 3 times now. I don't know why. Or maybe even 4. Like, they're all just Feint Attack. I don't know why they couldn't do anything interesting. But sure, it's gone.
And I think of all the Pokemon that have been released in this entire thing, Grimmsnarl is the one that changes the format the most. Like, Grimmsnarl is the single biggest game changer. They also added Light Clay to the game, which means that now we have not only Grimmsnarl, you can also set screens with Klefki, right, and has a similar role. But even though, like, T-Wave is a nerf, T-Wave was really, really good. They also nerfed Paralysis, so it's not actually as big a nerf as it could have been. But I think that, yeah, it screens. You all of a sudden, a lot more Pokemon can start taking attacks from Floette and Charizard and all these other heavy hitters when they're behind a light screen. I think Grimmsnarl is going to be everywhere. It's going to be on existing comps. It's going to be on brand new comps that are going to, we've seen a lot of Protect the Goldengo, Protect the Annihilate teams that set up screens, right? So I think that, I think this is a real game changer that we're going to see a lot of. Both as a screen setter, well, mostly as a screen setter, but then it also has so many other like utility moves it can run now that Thunderwave is not mandatory on the set.
I have a embarrassingly simple question. Maybe I'll pitch it at you, Dawei. So I want to know, why were screens not as strong before, Grimmsnarl was added, when we had like Sableye and Klefki, which both have some similarities, but some differences as well.
Yeah, I guess it's like the Light Clay is
That's
kind of
true.
the key, right? And it's just like the current meta is not a very, very powerful. Like, the damage dealer is just those several guys, I guess. It's not
Right.
like I always think like Grimmsnarl is always the most like always strongest when in a restricted format, something like that.
Actually, yeah, you were using Grimmsnarl in.
I use it a lot.
Yeah, I think I played against you using Grimmsnarl, if memory serves.
Oh, right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Iron Ball is back as well. I'll have to cover the items. Oh no, the items here are here at the bottom. I guess we'll talk about those briefly because it will be important in the context of some of these Pokemon. And so a lot of the items that they added back,
Oh,
I would say
like
there's a lot of like minor ones that are going to be less important. Shed Shell and Big Root. I don't think that everybody was dying for those ones to return. But yeah, Wide Lens is big for not just Mousehold, but as well as like Serena and Weavile if they want to use Triple Axle. There is Expert Belt, which is like an okay item sometimes, not an often picked one. Life Orb, the biggest one I think by far that is added back. So that I think starts to raise the power level of non megas, so that I genuinely, I don't know, I don't want to like get ahead of myself here, but I think that was a large part of why dual mega was such a huge thing in Regulation MA, is that the non megas couldn't match the power level of the strongest megas as easily, but this starts to let those Pokemon start to, they can catch up a bit better. Like for example, one of my first thoughts with Life Orb wasn't necessarily the everybody putting it on Garchomp, but I was like, can Swift Swim Basculegion come back now that the power loss from not having Life Orb or Choice Band isn't as massive. So stuff like that'll happen. Iron Ball, it has, I guess, like somebody mentioned, trick applications. It's probably also going to be let you use some Pokemon in Trick Room that otherwise don't have much business being in Trick Room. I don't really know what the major guys are for that off the top of my head. And then always Fling applications are cool too. And then I'm just stealing this take from Cybertron's video earlier, but Damp Rock is probably the biggest of the weather ones, because there's just a lot of like I think a lot of the other weathers are not being used as supportive, but more so on like megas. For like the main payoff Pokemon of the other weathers are like Frostlass using it for itself, Charizard using Sun for itself, but Pelipper and Politoed would really appreciate Damp Rock going a little bit later into the game, so that our Chaladon can keep electroshotting, so that Basculegion or Mega Swampert can keep Swift Swimming. Any other item takes from y'all?
I'm a little bummed that we did not get Expert Belt before Life Orb. I think if we had Expert Belt in MA, it would have been pretty cool. But now that we have Life Orb, like, I don't know.
I agree.
I wonder if Zard's can afford to go bulky still when the Chomp just is gonna kill him with Life Orb Rock Slide. Or even an
Yes.
Expert Bell Rock Slide. That would probably also get there. But like, I don't know. I think Jolly Life Orb should probably get there on the ones that are calced for Adamant Rock Slide currently. So you either do need to invest way more bulk or just throw an Incineroar on your team. We'll probably still see bulky Zards, but
Did you mention wide lens with mouse hold? Because I think that's a big one.
We did, yes. That one,
Yeah.
and then also for Serena as well. Like Serena is a Pokemon that, like, a lot of the times it doesn't really have any like super required item. It can use a citrus berry if it's free and you want to, or you don't have anything better to do. It's a grass type, so a couple of resist berries could be helpful on it. But at the end of the day, like it has really good type coverage, and it would like that type coverage to be more reliable. So Power Rip and Triple Axle landing more often makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, no Throat Spray. Throat Spray would have been cool. I guess Throat Spray is like a higher tier item or too complicated of an item. I don't know. It's kind of funny that we still don't have it. Very specific, I guess. And so, go ahead, Dawei.
I personally just feel Life Orb is added too soon. I feel like we probably should like have this kind of power level for a sometime longer, like with the introduce of otherwise like the expert belt wouldn't be that useful, right? And yeah, another take on this new edit list is we still don't have safety goggles, right? So my sleep powder is still strong.
Right. I know Vileplume's loving this.
Yeah.
This is huge for Vileplume. I think that's why they kept it out of the game.
Okay.
Yeah, Life Orb. Is Life Orb confirmed still 30%? I've got no clue. Probably.
Yeah.
As
far as I know.
It's probably in the in-game text. But yeah, I'm with you on this though, because like Life Orb feels bigger than anything else added in this patch.
Yeah.
No Mega or Pokemon in particular. Even the best non-Mega Pokemon you could pick from this list is not as big a deal as Life Orb being added back into the game. It changes so much. It's true.
Maybe if they add a Life Orb with like something like Assault Vest, it would be much better. Maybe.
True. I know. Still no Assault Vest. But at the very least, we don't have things like Terra to make some of these more annoying Pokemon even harder to deal with. Like, for example, Annihilate is a Pokemon that got severely changed in this patch. They made it so that not only does it not have Final Gambit, so you don't have to, guess as much in the closed team sheet aspect of playing against this Pokemon. And that would also been very good at dealing with opposing Megas to just take them out with a trade with a non-Mega. But they made it so that Rage Fist resets on Switch Out. Which I think was a bit of an interesting thing that it had going for it because it was not as consistent with everything else in Pokemon for the most part. Like everything is like, you set up your stats and then if you switch out, you lose them. And so this was different than that. And that was cool. However, it does mean that Annihilate is much more just like static on the field. You set up your bulk up, you get off your beat up, and you can't do anything from there. It's going to be just kind of like a different that set will probably play much more like a Protect the King, Queen, Mr. President type team we've been seeing. But I don't know if it can do that as well when we're in a metagame where Floette is as good as it is, and it's stuck being a fighting type always now.
Yeah, like all the Annihilate previously, I think they really wanted the Mega, not the Mega, the Terra on Annihilate. Yes. I almost see all the Annihilate users Terra their Annihilate like maybe the first turn, right?
Yes.
It's just so common.
It was. Not only did that have like all kinds of other added bonuses, like making it immune to burns. Like, for example, like this Pokemon would hate to see Scovillain as well. Like that's another Pokemon that it's going to have to contend with.
Oh, and you cannot have safety goggles on your muscle, so they can just Rage Powder your beat up.
Oh man, if you rage powder with Skull Villain and I get burned in my first population bomb, man, the rest of those are gonna be so sad. No. Dylan, do you have any thoughts on Ape?
You know,
Adi, you can go ahead first.
my hot take. I got into a big fight with Justin about this. I think this makes Annihilate like a lot less interesting. Now, moving Final Gambit, I think we did need that. That's especially toxic, especially in best of one. Trying to guess the set, but in the Rage Fist nerf, like I don't think that the ability to maintain your boosts after you switch out was really the problem with Rage Fist. I think, like you said, Terra makes it a little harder to set up already, and I think it would have been balanced even if you did maintain the stacks. I think that was part of what made the mon so interesting, and I think that the most interesting builds of Annihilate, generally speaking, are not the ones that get to sit on the field and you know, it's boring to play against an Annihilate. I've done it myself. I love using it. It's boring to play against an Annihilate that sits on the field for 12 turns and clicks Bulk Up, and gets a Sinistra boost and gets healed, and that gameplay is not interesting. And now we forced every Annihilate player to use that, as compared to some of the Assault Vest or Focus Sash Annihilates that I thought were far more interesting and really got to take advantage of the Rage Fist stacks even after they switched out. And so I wish that I don't like the way that I don't mind them nerfing Annihilate. I don't like the way they chose to nerf Annihilate because it still allows you to use the set that is the best, but also the least interesting Annihilate set, and it's just made it such a it's made it a worse Pokemon, but not in the way that I want it to be a worse Pokemon.
Right.
That's
yeah, it
fair.
took away its unique aspect. I'm with you there.
Yeah, I feel like
Golden Go. Go ahead, Dylan. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was gonna segue us there anyway. I kind of think that the old Rage Fist mechanic was a bug. That they just never got around to fixing. Because like, when you think about other stuff in the game that works like that, like, there's no like visual indicator, there's no status. Like, it's just like, yeah, you still have this stack when you switch out and you bring it back in. Like, it was the only thing in the game that worked like that.
Dylan, my take was the opposite,
know.
actually. Not that
Yeah.
that they couldn't figure out how to code it with to maintain it in this game. That they couldn't figure out how to code the Rage Fist stacks carrying over. I was like, maybe they couldn't figure it out, so they were like, actually, whatever, just ship it.
I either might be might be pretty accurate.
Either or
honestly.
neither,
Yeah. So, okay, I think the Protect the President Ape really does suffer with losing Terra in the same way that Protect the President Goldingo does. I'll go ahead and segue us there.
Yeah, true.
Because it's more of a problem with Goldingo, because I think even if he was just dropped in completely unchanged, I don't think he would have been that great, at least in the current format. And let me explain why. So before, you would like Terra Water or something, and you'd like spam redirection or spam fake out, right? Get to a better defensive typing. But now we don't have that. So even if you have a redirector, the Zard-Y Heatwave is still going to kill you, no matter how many nasty plots you have set up. And the Garchomp Earthquake, especially now that it has Life Orb, is also going to kill you. You can't Terra out of it. And we also don't have grassy terrain right now. Like, I think the Goldingo nerf was just so heavy-handed. I guess for like everyone who doesn't know, it's -2 special attack now. And then also, for some salt on the wound, it's 95% accurate. So sometimes you're just gonna miss. It's like I don't think the accuracy was super needed. I do think, like, just thinking ahead, like -2. Some of my friends were really fighting me on this because like I have actually never brought Goldingo to a single tournament. It's just not my mon. Like I don't know. I've never really jived with it. I have some friends who really love it. I have one friend who it's like their favorite Pokemon or second favorite. The group chat was not liking me for this one. I think -2 is kind of fair. Like, okay, if you gave a new Pokemon that we release like tomorrow, Draco Meteor, but it's spread, most people would agree, like, yeah, okay, that's a little busted. That's a little overtuned. Maybe we should knock down the base power a little bit. And that's just what Make It Rain is now, I guess. I don't know. Minus the accuracy. The accuracy thing is stupid. I will concur.
Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of agree with that because if you think of it like a Draco Meteor or Overheat or something like that, they also don't have like full accuracy, and it's basically the same type of moves that can do spread damage, right?
I actually was
if you think of it like in that way, it just feels a little better, but I still don't like it.
No, I think now that it has 95 accuracy, it's basically just like Icy Wind, but like really strong and also doesn't drop their speed. You know? Does anybody else get the Icy Wind vibes that I'm getting? Adi, what's your take?
No, man, I hate the 95% accuracy. I don't like when you nerf nerf moves by making them more volatile. That just seems like, what are we doing here? Do we like it when 95% accurate moves miss? Like, is that a fun part of VGC or is that a toxic part of VGC? I understand there needs to be trade-offs to moves. I don't mind that Icy Wind and Electro Web have 95% accuracy. I like that they are basically the only relevant moves that have 95% accuracy. I think that Goldengo will still be viable with the -2. And like you said, the Draco Meteor piece, very, very reasonable. It just has really good defensive typing. Admittedly, maybe not into the best like mons in the format, but like, oh man, how many times have you looked at the team builder and said, what steel type am I using? There's nothing here. It's just King Gambit, right? That's part of why King Gambit has 70% usage. It's the only steel type in the format. And so no, I think that it's still gonna be good. There's still Floette. You don't have to bring it every game. Wall Staraptor, it's still very good into like Metagross, for example. It's gonna do really, really well into some specific team. It's still very good into Perish, right? It's unaffected by Perish. And so I think it's still going. It's not gonna be an every game mon. But yes, it sucks that it is so bad into Charizard, Garchomp when those are still the best two Pokemon in the format. But I still think that we're gonna see a decent amount of Goldengo. And even with the -2 nerf, that's okay. That's like a reasonable nerf to make it. I just hate the 95% accuracy. That's just so
Adi,
bad.
why is Walling Staraptor relevant? What? I'm so confused. Why would that be relevant at all? Where is that guy, dude? Oh,
Make
Staraptor. Wait,
no
do I have to go to a
mistake, that nerf too is just part of their agenda to make Floette better. It's like, oh, we got an actual fairy resist, gotta nerf it. Anyway, tangent aside.
Right.
Everyone knows
Yeah,
that
and
nerf's
also
gonna win.
it gets power gem. So I do think that like a Life Orb just straight offensive set doesn't seem like a bad idea. We use power gem to like get a little bit more of an edge against Incineroar, but it would be great at dealing with Charizard as long as you got the speed advantage. So or you're just invested to be faster. I guess that could also be a possibility. Okay. So, Staraptor, this one is actually so funny to me, not because like they made like I don't know, I think a lot of people probably didn't expect Staraptor to be good. It was probably a mega that, people were like, I don't know what ability they're gonna give this thing to like really make it shine. And then Contrary was like, oh yeah, that's actually nuts. But why did they do this to Malamar? Why do they just hate Malamar? Like Malamar is like, all right, I'm here, guys. Finally, I'm the mega with Contrary, and then they're like, they just took exactly Malamar's thing and put it on a much better Pokemon. Like, there's just why do they hate Malamar like this? It was actually like they should have just given it the Psychic Surge or like set Trick Room on entry or something stupid because like you're just going to give it Contrary again, and then at the same time give us a better Contrary Mega. Like, what the heck, man? This is awful. All right, somebody give me some Staraptor takes, though. What do you guys think about this thing? Is it actually just a flash in the pan, or is it actually good? Because people are really hyping this thing up.
I don't think it's that
Lose to
bad.
Sour Ledge, therefore bad.
True.
Oh.
Nah, you gotta tech your team out to beat Floette if you're using this guy. A lot of the teams I've seen do that by just having their own Floette. That's probably entirely reasonable. It seems pretty good with like screen stuff, and like Sinisha. Like you Brave Bird, you lose some health, but you're getting so much defenses from close combat that healing from Hospitality gets really annoying. And also with Grimmsnarl, in addition to setting screens for it, you can parting shot on yourself, get an attack boost on the way out. I thought that was really cool when I saw people doing
So
that.
sick.
'Cause
Yeah,
it's also just a guaranteed parting shot. You don't have to worry about your opponent protecting on your parting to let you not get value. Like you just get it off and get something guaranteed. That seems very good.
And with that, it's very good at countering like Charizard. If you have another weather, you can swap to the weather and just completely disrupt that guy. And then because it's like so good with any stat dropping moves, like fake tears. If you want to run it with a special attacker, then that like your Whimsicott can use that. It can use fake tears onto it to boost its special defense. I've actually seen calcs already that it can survive Light of Ruin if you side fake tears and close combat on the same turn. Like you just live Light of Ruin, which is kind of cool. So yeah, Charm Whimsicott, Tickle Whimsicott, Scary Face you can use on it, Parting Shot. Strength Sap from Sinistra, I guess. Honestly, I don't know if Strength Sap's worth running just for the +1 on your Staraptor, but like, it's still really cool that you have the option. Yeah, there's so many ways that you can make this Pokemon go crazy. I actually I'll save it for when we talk about Pyroar, but like it's just like it's important to consider how much you're investing into the Pokemon to make it shine. That like there are a lot of strong megas that can exist and do strong things without as much support. So you got to be careful with that. Oh, Topsy Turvy Malabar gets his revenge. That's a great point, Vikram. What do you know about this? Topsy Turvy's your stats. Love that. Yeah, this guy's probably the one of the strongest, or at least one of the most interesting megas that they've added, especially of the new bunch. And so Pyroar is the other one. One of them. Sorry, go ahead. Does somebody have a take?
I was gonna say it's that or Metagross, right? But we can talk about Pyroar.
Okay, so Pyroar got Dragon Maw for fire. That's what its ability is, and I'm not really a huge believer in this Pokemon. I actually put out a tweet to just kind of like shit on it because I was like, I don't think this thing is actually that good. And yeah, like it's just doing less damage than Charizard, like baseline. And like a lot of people were like, but it can use the sun too. And this is where I wanted to like kind of just like mention that when you like, especially as we are entering a new format, people are going to post calcs like, hey, look at how much Helping Hand Iron Head does for Metagross, how much Helping Hand Overheat in the sun does from this thing. And it's like, and it says like it's a guaranteed OHKO against Basculegion or something. Like that's the problem is that the guaranteed OHKO word is actually kind of like misleading. I think you guys know what I'm saying in the call here, but basically like yes, it's a one-hit KO by like definition, but like when you use Helping Hand, that's like 2 moves to kill the Basculegion. Like if I KO Basculegion with Dragon Claw plus, I don't know, I'm just gonna say Earthquake. Like that's also 2 moves used to KO a Pokemon. When you use Helping Hand Overheat, that's 2 moves to KO a Pokemon. Like it's not that impressive. And like when you're using Overheat from this thing, because I think a lot of the most insane calcs come from a Helping Hand Overheat or something like that, you could almost consider it 3 moves because you have to switch out to recover from your -2 unless you've got some other clever way to get around that. So it's like, I don't know. I think this guy is kind of mid. I think that's a long way to say that I think he's pretty mid.
Pyroar is your favorite
Yu-Gi-Oh,
Pokemon?
we call those YouTube combos.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Right. They're great. They're great clips. They're great to clip farm. They're not very good in tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If this guy is really your favorite and you really, really want to use him, just run it as a fast Snarl and Wisp guy that can also click a pretty strong Heat Wave. That's my take. Like, he's obviously not great, but some people just want to use, like, they're just dead set on a certain Pokemon. It's like, that is a much more valuable niche, because it's very fast, and Wisp is a very good move. And so is Snarl. Like, that's great damage mitigation. It has, like, okay bulk, and you can do, like, decent damage with Heat Wave, but don't try and just one-shot things, because then you're using Torkoal and this guy when you could just be using his Arc-Y.
Right. I think it is at least serviceable. They did give us some worse megas. We could maybe like mention like Scolipede, with like its shell armor. Like I don't know why they did that one, but whatever. All right, yeah. Let's
really my real
Go
take
ahead.
is like if they gave it Eruption, it would have been good. Like if it had
Well,
Eruption,
yeah.
it would have been a real Pokemon. And I don't know why they are so reluctant to make these Pokemon good. Like it was so close. It was so close to being good, and it's just awful instead. You were allowed to have strong Pokemon.
I know
Give it
they're
to us.
allergic to
We
making
don't
some of
need-
these new megas strong. They are.
Yeah.
Like I
He
think just
deserved
rattling
Baneful
off a couple.
Bunker, or Burning Bulwark. That's the one.
Oh, Burning Bulwark could be funny on
Gushing
it.
Fire's
Honestly, it
move.
looks like it could. It looks
Very
like it
fitting.
could.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, like Mega Phalanx, it's still like a lot of these megas, they actually kept their same ability. Barbaracle is still Tough Claws. And I don't know if that's gonna be huge for it. It has a lot of weaknesses. And I don't think the like craziest set of stats. It does
it's a
have
fighting
Shell
type now.
Smash. Yeah, it's a fighting type, right.
I think this
130,
guy might be
106.
sleeper.
Okay, I'm
not
willing.
gonna lie.
I'm willing to go with
Me too.
sleeper pick because the stats are pretty decent.
You go with Shell Smash and you flinch everything with Rock Slide. It's awesome.
True.
And then also,
True.
Tough Claw's close combat from 140 attack is strong. Like this
That's
thing
true.
has crazy calcs. Even if you Shell Smash and they like intimidate you, you are still one-shotting like pretty much all neutral hits with CC. Like it's kind of
I'm
nuts.
buying
I don't
this.
know.
I'm buying this because we were.
I think there might be a team to make this guy work. He's obviously bad enough flow, but not if you flinch it. So you can just do that. But like, I don't know. Like this guy has such good offensive like typing. It's just so bad defensively, but that's fine. You're clicking Shell Smash anyway. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking past his downsides too much, but he seems
right.
actually decent.
We're just coming off.
I just feel like.
Oh, Dawei, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Okay, it's just the same as Blastoise. If you do Shell Smash, you also have to give it your Mega Stone. It's just so difficult to use. Like feels like.
Yeah.
Usually, I would like to have something like Focus Sash and stuff to use Shell Smash, right?
No, that's fair. That's totally fair. The thing is, though, at the very least, like these defenses aren't that bad. 72, 130, 106. Like that's pretty tanky. But I think the real issue is that it's just weak to Dazzling Gleam and Make It Rain and some other like spread moves. I guess it could choose to not change its typing. How are those stats?
Oh,
72, 115, 86. Yeah, you could be a water type while you Shell Smash. That's also a very
and you in fact probably don't necessarily want to Mega when you Shell Smash because you want to have a slow Shell Smash and then you want to Mega, right? So
right.
It's not that bad. Like I believe in this guy. Again, I don't know if it's top tier, but like yeah, I totally agree with what Dylan said. It's got really good offensive typing. It doesn't have a great ton of great coverage moves, but like fighting rock is incredible typing. And so if you can get it boosted, its speed stat is its downside, but if you can get it boosted, I think this guy can really sweep a team.
Yeah, I think we can all agree this guy's getting banned from singles day one. He's probably already is banned from singles. Let's be honest.
That's true. That's true.
I think Shell Smash Blastoise was too much, so I see no reason why this guy would be any different. But
on the subject of singles, Dragalge ended up being kind of a singles pick here because they just gave it Regenerator, which is, for our purposes, kind of a downgrade from like what it already has with adaptability. Like it actually seemed like interesting because you look at Zard Floette and you're like, well, you've got a Dragon Poison type that can kind of wall out those two typings. But now and like its bulk is decent aside from the really poor HP stat, but I just don't know. I mean, Regenerator's been very good on the right Pokemon in VGC. With the amount of support that this thing needs with its like slow speed stat, I don't know if it can be affording to play a game like that. Maybe it can. It's very interesting. Such a high special defense stat. It's really cool. But yeah, I don't know if this guy it'll probably be pretty solid in singles. Maybe decent for us. Let's see. Yeah, I mentioned Malamar. Not great. Oh, dude, the Eel, the other new signature ability. Because they did Elevate. Elevate is so funny. They gave it. They were like, we need something good for once. I don't know, Adi. For some reason, they thought that Scolipede didn't need something good. They didn't think that guy needed something good, but they were like, all right, this guy needs a good ability. We're giving it Levitate Beast Boost as one. Like that's sick. That's so exciting. And its stats are really not that good. It's a mixed attacker, which is just the worst offense you can commit for any Pokemon, really. I think primarily it wants to be a special attacker because it just has better coverage on that side with like Flamethrower and Giga Drain and stuff like that. That seems cool. You can use like Disquake with this guy, like, Discharge Earthquake, I guess. I don't know if it'll be able to hold up. I really want it to hold up because he's my guy, dude. Like every time I tweet about Electros, I get like 10,000 likes. So he's my guy. But where was the one? Dude, 13. What the heck, dude? You just you type in Electros into the Twitter button, you hit send, and then everybody's happy to talk about him, dude. 52 replies too. It's awesome. They're all like, "You're so stupid." Mold Breaker Embor hits it super effectively with Earthquake. I'm like, "Oh, my bad." Oh, how could I forget? All right. Does anybody think Eel has potential, or is this guy actually just like too badly statted?
It looks cool. It looks good. And I really think we need some strong electric type
Right.
Pokemon.
My take is if you want a strong electric type, it's probably one of the Raichus. And I'm not
Raichu is
even
right.
sure if that's great. If they're great, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if he was like in Reg M0 or something, like before MA, I think there might have been a low enough power format for him to do well. But the bulk
That's
is
how I
just
feel about
not
a lot of these.
fantastic. I don't know.
Yeah, sorry I
Can
didn't mean to
I
cut you off
can I
there, Dylan.
discharge with it next
Gotti,
to
go
my
ahead.
Oranguru? Maybe I don't know. Like it's just yeah, it's the speed stat's really bad. It might have to be like a Trick Room Sweeper even. Like it's not bulky enough to sit there in the. It just makes attackers so bad. Its stats or allocation is just awful. I don't think it's viable.
Gotti, you want to run it in Trick Room? It got 30 speed points upon Mega. Like it went from 50 to 80.
That's the most unfortunate thing, I think. Yeah, if they don't give it that 30 speed boost, maybe the stats will just look so much better.
I know. 30 in defense
Yeah.
and special defense, split them evenly. Like I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Frostlass escaped whichever balancing employee decided that the mixed megas that were the megas that were mixed before their mega needed to stay mixed. Like Frostlass was also mixed before mega. Like we don't need to do this, guys. Like we can
Yeah.
take the mixed ones and give them a better mega. Like it is possible. But we're
Mhm.
So
just continue not to do it.
We didn't cover Scrafty yet. Scrafty has double intimidate. It's the funniest option, I think. They did just decide that I was going to do that. And like the thing is if it wasn't like a Floette format, I'd be pretty down with this guy. But as is, I don't really know if it can cut it. What's the main anti? Well, I guess Milotic exists. Milotic would eat this Pokemon up for breakfast, of course. But otherwise, most people are using King Gambit for anti-intimidate type stuff. And it actually doesn't really mind. Even if you intimidated King Gambit twice, Sucker Punch is going to do like, 20 or something like that. So you can just close combat and get rid of it. That is pretty awesome for your double intimidate guy. But the problem is that I don't think it's ever going to be worth running your Mega to get this guy. And then I also don't think it's better than Incineroar in enough meaningful ways. It's better into King Gambit and Basket Legion than Incineroar is. But at the cost of being
the
way
set also
worse into
lose
Floette.
parting shot.
Yes, it didn't get.
Lost
They
parting
gave
shot.
it gave it parting shot in not MA in ZA, and then they didn't stick with it. If it had parting shot, we could probably still talk. Maybe you run it even with Incineroar as like an annoying double fake out core. But no, it's just very much planted on the field once it hits the field. So bummer.
It does have good defensive stats now. Like it is really, really bulky. And double intimidate is very cool. I wouldn't be shocked to see it get used, but it's not quite to the point where I'd like it's something because it's like you said, it's your mega. You gotta build around it. So in other words, you have to use another Pokemon that you're willing to commit to like completely setting up. Which there are some, right? You can set up your Annihilate, you can set up your Sarlage, something like that. It's really good in the Sarlage, I'll say that. But like you have to really, really commit to setting up the guy and then using Scrafty essentially as a support Pokemon that has the ability to do damage, big fighting damage, big dark damage, but like it's not. I don't think I would. It's gonna be niche. You could use it. It's gonna be niche.
Let me see. Are there other new megas? We covered the Raichus in a different one, so I'm going to skip those guys for now because we knew what they were going to be coming into this. And that's pretty much it. Dylan, I think they've been talking about it all episode long, so do tell me your thoughts on Houndstone. I swear.
I got a friend who's been using it, and he said it's bad, and I'm inclined to believe him. But worth noting, you can run Focus Sash on this guy. It is allowed. Sand Rush makes you immune to Sand Chip. There were people in my group that didn't know that.
Right.
I don't know. It really is the Basky Legion at home. Notably, he does get Psychic Fangs. A lot of Sand teams will struggle quite a bit with Sneasler, so having your Sand Rush guy that can just eliminate it and outspeed it is pretty cool. I don't know. It really is just the Basky Legion at home.
Now, everyone needs to know that because you're putting this thing next to a Tyranitar, it does get Ally Switch. Just be aware, you will lose it on ladder.
Yes.
It does get Ally Switch.
Oh,
Gets
this
Will-O-Wisp
can't be.
as well. It
The
does
fast
get
whips
disabled.
is kind of cool too. Yeah, it has the move pool is not the problem. Like if Basky Legion didn't exist, I feel like I might actually be considering this guy on my sand team because Last Respects is just such a broken move. But I feel like it because I've experienced adaptability Bask now, which also has more attack. I feel like I would just be sad every time I click Last Respects with this guy because he's not Basky Legion. Like I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. And also he's like kind of slow to the point that you need to run Jolly, like to outspeed things with
Yeah.
your Sand Rush. Like you don't even get to run Adamant. It probably is too slow.
And even like you have to run you have to run it with Tyranitar, but you want to click Last Respects when everything's dead, which means that your sand is probably about running out when your everything is dead, right? So it's really hard to actually set it up in a position where it's the fastest thing on the field and it has a powerful Last Respects. It's very awkward. Tested it in Scarlet and Violet at one point in like Reg B or whatever it was, and still didn't before Basculin Legion was a Pokemon, and still didn't think it was quite good enough. So I'm skeptical.
Before we finish up here, I think we have 3 old megas that definitely deserve some talking about. And so I want to go through those ones here. I guess we'll just go through it in Dex order. But Mega Swampert.
Sceptile Hater.
Yeah, sorry.
There's got to be 4.
I'll leave that one to Philip Winged. That's a +1's got it. Because I think that was his signature mod back in the day. I feel like that's where his name came from. I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering.
Wait, I gotta know. Which one are we? We're dropping Blaziken? We're gonna say Blaziken isn't viable?
Blaziken's also not getting the cut. I'm sorry, Adi. Blaziken also didn't make the cut. I have to think that it's probably a better non-mega. You know, maybe decent enough as a non-mega. Now, we did use Blaziken Bisharp back in the day, and now you can use like King Gambit with it, so that's cool. Swampert. Swampert got some huge buffs, both in like I mean, we have it like it's really cool that it gets to run it with Pelipper now. I think we had Pelipper during like some point in its lifespan. I guess that would be like 2018, 2019, but it wasn't really like massive. However, I think it's really cool with Pelipper, of course, because of the earthquake aspect, and its stats are incredible when you factor in that like, you know, its lowest speed is just being or lowest stat speed is just being doubled. And the 2 new tools that it got are Wave Crash and Flip Turn. So incredible moves to have on this Pokemon. I see a ton of potential in this guy because like it's just its stats are also just so good. 100, 110, 110. It's tanky, and notably, they added this thing before Rillaboom's in the game. So right now you can click Earthquake freely. You can click any move without being priority Grassy Glided. Like this is its time to shine.
I'm gonna drop my secret tech for this guy.
Yeah.
It's only got 1 weakness. It's weak to grass. Thankfully, we only have 1 grass move, and that's Matcha Gacha. And I think Sinisha does kind of have the space for Imprison. Run this guy with Imprison Cine, because then they can't Rage Powder you either. Like, that seems actually pretty good. You can go Imprison TR if you have a bad Trick Room matchup. But yeah, obviously Pelipper also incredible with this thing. You can wide guard the Matchas, you can Hurricane the Cines. Helping Hand with this thing is just makes it get very stupid damage output with Wave Crash. Like, it is a little bit weaker than like an adaptability Bask because it's got much higher attack, but you know the multiplier is just too good. But like all the other stats are just so incredible, and it has a much better matchup into stuff like King Gambit. So I think this guy definitely has potential. He seems
That's
pretty
sick.
solid.
I'm really selling myself on him the more I think about it. He's so cool. All right. So
Agreed.
then if there's no other thoughts,
I'll say this.
Adi?
Rain teams have not felt like they had a mega they wanted to use in Reg MA. Now Rain teams have a mega they want to use. You can still use Dragonite. You can still use, you know, Floette or what else they use? Manectric. Like there was all
Scizor.
sorts of random stuff people were putting on their Rain teams. Scizor. Now you probably want to use Swampert. Swampert's good enough that it's probably an include on Rain teams.
I was gonna say, Adi, we don't have to use Scizor anymore. We have Metagross. So because I honestly Scizor is cool, but like Metagross is back. He's sick. Now the only thing notable about this guy is that it didn't get Heavy Slam. It doesn't get Heavy Slam like it had in previous games. So they took that away from the Mega version. Every time I look at the Mega stats though, I am just like, what? It's a Mega with a damage amping ability with 145 attack, and then 150 defense, 110 special defense, and 110 speed. Its only bad stat is HP, and it's not even horrible. Like, this guy's got so many stats. I know that's because it's a pseudo legendary with 700 total, but like, gosh, this thing's incredible. It's so crazy.
This guy's my favorite Pokemon. Just straight up, I feel like full on my favorite Pokemon. But low-key, it probably shouldn't have got Heavy Slam. It's probably for the best that it didn't get to keep it, because those calcs were just illegal. Like, this is about as strong as they're willing to make a mon that also has a damage boosting ability. Like, 145 attack Tough Claws is absurd. Did notably get a buff in the Psychic Fangs as well. For when we get a Moongus back, that's going to be very sweet, because before you would click Zen Headbutt and you would miss, and they would spore you, and you would lose the game. But Psychic Fangs cannot miss. It's also just a little bit stronger if you ever need that damage amp. I'm not sure how great the psychic coverage is right now. I feel like Iron Head, Stomping Tantrum, Ice Punch can't be bad. You just hit like so many things. I've got friends that are trying to put a rock move on this guy. I don't know if that's the way to go, because it's not Tough Claws boosted, but it does beat Zard if you do that, I guess.
Yeah, I'd put
this
Thunder
thing's
Punch,
just, it can't be bad. It is just bad in the King Gambit, and Bask is my worry. But like, he can't be bad. He has so many stats.
Yeah, also
I
it has
also
like a
feel
ton of
like
coverage. So much coverage moves on it. Whether like, it has like Hammer Arm or Body Press to hit those King Gambits if you really felt like that was worth it. Thunder Punch if you want to hit water types. Dawei, sorry, you go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, Psychic Fangs should be like more relevant now because we have more screens, I guess.
Right.
Right.
I feel like Blaziken is the best mon out of MB. You're gonna have to prove that to me. Honestly, I'm reading that in the Twitch chat. I'm, ready to be wrong, but until then, I will have my take on Blaziken. Yeah, Mont's got a point. He says, body press it with your 150 base defense. It does just have 150 defense. That's nuts. That's cool. That's cool. And wait, does it get
coaching
iron
boost
defense?
on that guy?
Yeah, coaching's nuts on it. Yeah, it does technically be. It could be an iron defense body press mon. It'd be a little bit of a weird way to use it, but like, not entirely illegal, I guess.
But even without iron defense, you can still just run a fighting move. I think it gets brick break, it gets hammer arm. You really want to kill the King Gambits, like you can just kill the King Gambits. It get like you said, incredible move pool. Whatever move you want, you can fit the coverage on.
Shadow Punch. It gets Shadow Punch. I'm glad that one made the cut.
Fun fact: it outspeeds Charizard, and not only can you rock move it, but you can rain dance.
Yeah. Somebody will use that on the close sheet ladder. Somebody will, because rain dance is everywhere. The last one is Mawile. Can Mawile still cut it today? I'm actually like very unsure for this Pokemon. It has Intimidate and Hypercutter. I feel like right this time around, people might go for Hypercutter because of just keeping your Mega unintimidated. Intimidate is pretty accessible in the current format, and so that does seem kind of nice. Whereas like Intimidate also like has a lot of counters in the other Pokemon in the format. Like, you don't really want to make King Gambit stronger. You don't really want to activate that White Herb on the Sneasler. So maybe not a huge deal that you use the Intimidate on this thing. But yeah, its stats are like, they're all right. They're all right. The type it's carried a lot by its defensive typing, and of course the ability giving it so much power. I think I was told that its Sucker Punch is stronger than King Gambit if you don't have Black Glasses. So that is like really cool, it'll probably run just, I was gonna say triple stab, but just triple attack the Iron Head play rough with that Sucker Punch to round it out. But other than that, I guess it has Swords Dance and like Rock Slide, some other funny options. I don't really know if it's gonna get too creative in the move selection here.
I know you said stats are all right, but 105 attack with huge power is actually crazy. Like, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
It hits really hard. I'm trying to look through the moves and see if it has anything else cool it can run. I guess it can run like Ice Punch. Did it always get Ice Punch?
What are you Ice Punching, Adi? Because I think you're play roughing those things that you Ice Punch,
You're right. You're play roughing things.
Does this thing not get fake out?
No, it's not a fake out guy.
Ah, man.
Gets bite though.
Yeah, no, it's hard not to justify running
maybe
the 3 moves.
Oh, knock. Okay, knock's all right.
Knockoff is sometimes used more useful than Sucker Punch, I feel.
No, definitely a good shout. Adi?
No, I got a Stone Edge. You can run a rock move, you know, if you really
Yeah,
want to.
yeah.
Actually, it could also run four play, maybe.
Yes, the foul play is funny because it does
Foul play,
use huge power for foul play. It's like, honestly, like for people coming in, you know, from like just starting with champions or just starting with mobile, that's probably not the most intuitive thing. The foul play, like you would think that this thing would take more damage, I guess, like but like that's just not how it factors into the damage calculation. So, yeah, I think the most interesting move on it, besides running those 3 moves with protect, is maybe just getting a swords dance set involved if you want to offset some of those intimidates and make your sucker punch hits harder. But then you have to drop something, and dropping any move on this thing also sounds hard. So I'm not really sure. Yeah. So I think then
I think there's a reason that it runs those 3 moves. It does get now. Trick Room finally has a good sweeper to use. I know people are running Abominable up in Golurk and stuff, Drampa. No, we get Mawile now. Like we're set.
Yeah, I stand by that. All right, any guys or items or anything like that that we really need to mention before we wrap up the episode? Any other guys that we didn't quite cover that you guys had takes on? Oh, did you guys say Musharna? Yeah, Musharna is in the game now. Yeah, Musharna is back. I think a lot of people were wondering. I was honestly buying the stupid theories that people were like, you know, they're adding Vileplume back because it's going to get Grassy Surge and Musharna is going to be like the misty terrain or something one, because I was just like, why else are they adding these kind of like nobody weirdos to the game if not like they just did. They just added some kind of random Pokemon for the love of it. And honestly, I mean, I guess what else are they going to get added? You know, they're not going to wait till the restricted format comes out and be like, and guys, you get Musharna and Xerneas. Does that sound cool? Like,
you say that,
like,
we're about to get some really weird guy when we get restricteds. We're about to get like the restricteds and Watchog.
Yes, we already have Watchog. He's here.
True.
He's here.
Yeah, I know. You know, Sawsbuck, I guess. I don't know.
Sawsbuck.
I just wish they picked a different type Shitmon, because we already have so many psychic type Shitmons that no one uses. Yep. We don't need another one. We really don't. Right? Why would you ever use this over Reuniclus, which we already have and no one uses? Or like the Slowbros. Or we have Hatterene and for Rigoraph and Oranguru and like, I don't get it.
Yep. There's just infinitely better options. That's why I thought, and like I was hopeful, Adi, that they did like some cool balancing adjustments for these mons, but no, that was a little too hopeful of an idea. All right, well,
yeah,
I think
God
then that's
forbid the competitive game has competitive balances. I don't know.
Right. I know. Maybe they'll get down to it later down the line. I don't know.
Okay. This just looks too much like a planned update. It's not anything like a balanced patching, right?
Oh, right. I'm with you there. That sounds about right.
You know, they had that interview
and I will say,
they were like
Dylan,
talking about how they were like saying how we haven't had too many reports that like certain things are too like broken or too powerful, and it's like I feel like they could have made some changes. Like I don't know, like okay, if this was always their intention to like not actually change things around like the competitive metagame, then like they probably shouldn't have said that like, oh yeah, we'll do balance patches down the line. Like I know that they nerfed some moves going into it, like it's not really a nerf. It's just like they changed it between games. You know, they didn't like say,
it is
okay,
still like
well,
that.
Yeah, like maybe Bask is a little too overtuned. Let's take away Wave Crash from or something like that. Like I don't know. They didn't actually take anything that happened in MA and do any sort of response to it. Maybe we'll get that eventually, but that's just kind of how I interpreted their interview response to that question, and I'm a little disappointed, I guess. But I don't know. Yet to be seen.
I believe they definitely will do it in the future. It's just not this time.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
it would be a little reactionary to do it this quickly, right?
That's fair.
True.
Yeah,
it's very fair. Especially because I'm sure this update was already planned, like well ahead of time, right? Like we, didn't really have a tournament until what, like a month ago, I guess, or no, less than that. It was less than that that Indy happened. So I mean, they can't react that fast. That's fair.
All right. Well,
we don't need the basics of competitive Pokemon to change every month or two. I hope that they do. I hope I don't actually expect them to do balance patches on a reason like on a regular basis, but I hope that they do think about it and make some changes every so often.
Gosh, dude, I don't know how many
We'll see.
people I saw take their own spin on like how Rock Slide was going to be nerfed or buffed in this update. Like so many fake images of it having like 40% flinch rate. I was like, we all have this one joke. Let's all do our own take on it. Yep.
I laugh every time. I'm sorry. It's a good bit.
Of course, of course. All right. Yeah, I think no calc is right this week because my tummy is rumbling and I'm just getting a little bit hungry. And we already took so much time from our guests. We do appreciate you guys giving us so much time to talk about all this stuff. Sorry that we couldn't highlight, you know, your NAIC runs even more because, you know, it's already old news. It's already old news. We have so much more important things going on, like, you know, mobile and MB. It is fun now. But yes, thank you guys for being on with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. Always love to come on the show.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
And so if you are here now but you didn't catch the beginning, you can type !YT or go over to YouTube and search up CK49. That's where this is going to be posted tomorrow on the YouTube channel. And then otherwise, I guess we'll figure out who is streaming some MB. Surely there's somebody out there who is playing this new format.
Oh yeah.
And we can throw you guys over
We'll
there.
send you over to Jontu, who is also top 25 in NA according to him. Also going to be at Worlds and is playing some MB.
Let's go. Yeah. Definitely want to see what people are playing in this early one because yeah, it's so exciting, still so new. Go play it on Showdown. Go play it on Champions. Go play it on your phone. And yeah, we'll be seeing you guys next week for Tub Takes and otherwise for some more regular streams from me. Probably starting again this week. All right, have a good night, peeps. Later.